Hello everyone, welcome back. We are redoing Roald's house on my winter island on Kringle. I am not doing one without commentary. This is just going up as is with my commentary because to me this is more part of my winter island Kringle playlist than it is the Extreme Home Makeovers Animal Crossing Edition playlist, although I'll probably end up putting it on both. If you've been watching any of my recent videos, you know that I've been talking about my trip to Dallas. However, I'm also not going to be doing that in this video just because I have a lot more to say about our travel day that we had than there is to fit in the time frame of this. So we're going to talk about a couple of other things instead. I completely forgot to mention that I did finish The Air Affair, which I've been reading for like a couple of months at that point. I finished it on the plane to Dallas because I was reading it through Kindle because I had like lent it from my library through Libby. I was able to just pull it up on my phone and read it, which was great. And then when we landed and I had internet again, or maybe I did it during the plane because the plane had free Wi-Fi, I just like returned the book and then I put reading on hold for a bit because I was away. When I say I had it on my Kindle, I mean that I use like the Kindle app to read books. So I will read them on my phone primarily or my iPad. Very rarely do I read them on my iPad just because I have like the iPad Air and sometimes that's not super comfortable to like hold for a long period of time to read, and my phone is a lot smaller. I've been kicking around the idea of maybe getting an iPad mini, but I don't want to get one just to use as a stand-in Kindle when I have my phone, and I don't need an iPad mini. When I got back from my trip though, and when I finally got rid of that stupid cold that I had, I did start reading another book. I read Being Human, which was co-written by Judy Heumann and Kristen Joyner. Judy Heumann, for those of you who may not know, she was like the quintessential disability rights activist, at least like in my mind. She unfortunately passed away, I think in 2023. She had polio as an infant and that left her essentially quadriplegic, and she was one of the people who championed having the 504 plan passed and IDEA, which is the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, as well as the Americans with Disabilities Act. And because I am disabled myself, if you're new here, hi, I'm visually impaired, I knew a lot about her in the disability community. I watched Crip Camp, which I can't remember what streaming service that's available on, but I did watch that. I read the book, and the book apparently is going to be adapted into a movie on Apple TV. I remember seeing casting calls because they were looking for like a ton of disabled people to, I think, be part of like the protests and things, because one of the main events was that they took over a federal building in San Francisco. Anyway, I read that. I honestly highly recommend that everybody reads that. It is a memoir. And after I read that, I read Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell, which I had on my holds list for a very long time. And finally it came up at a point where I was able to read it. It was okay, in my opinion. I liked her other books, I think, a little better. I really liked Attachments and I liked Slow Dance. Fangirl was good. I kind of resonated with it, but like it wasn't really my absolute favorite of hers that I've read so far. Although the main character and I are like the same age because we were in college, starting college at the same time and whatever. So like that was relevant to me. Regardless, I finished that. I just actually a couple nights ago, when I'm recording the audio for this, finished Unwind, which is the first in that series by Neil Shusterman. I really liked that book. I know it came out like a million years ago, and I'm waiting for the other ones, the 1.5 and 2, like the second novel and the 1.5 one, to become available. I have them both on hold right now at my library through Libby. So about Roald's house, I, as you can see, went from his starter jock interior and completely like demolished it, which was pretty bare bones anyway, and I really like the final product. I did have to leave and come back because I forgot I hadn't crafted the ice floor and we were going to use that. I'm going to make the penguin houses kind of similar but different, have the inside of them be like an igloo. I did this for Wade on my main island when he lived there. But anyway, that is it. We are done. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave any comments, feedback, and suggestions down below, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.